welcome to Terror Games in the Dark. We're going to finish off our session of Stories Untold. This is as you recall, the last game was a little bit hectic. It was, I was stuck in some kind of weird Arctic base, and basically I had to kind of look back and forth from a computer console and reference a handbook that was saved on microfiche. The microfiche was a little hard to use. Also, there was an aspect of it where I had to do Morse code, which I had a key to read the Morse code, but the problem was that I just had a real hard time hearing where the dashes and dots were. The dots just happened really fast, and I was just like trying to listen to it, but it wasn't a very consistent pattern. Let me just say that, it just didn't felt like a consistent pattern. So I actually did have to kind of consult a walkthrough to get through that part. And as you recall, the last game actually ended in a section where I actually had to walk around, which in the first two episodes, you just kind of stayed in one single room. In the first episode, it was like more of a legit text game with atmospheric stuff happening around you, with the set pieces that were in front of you, like the lamp kind of like, blinking on and off, or the computer shutting off and then coming back on and stuff like that. Spooky stuff like that. But in that last one, we were able to walk around the sort of like environment. We had to go turn on a couple generators, and then as we were walking back, we heard it through, I'm assuming, a walkie-talkie of some sort, the other people in the other Arctic bases, and then it ended with us walking right into the first room. I actually, if you look at the streaming cover, I'll bring it back up. That's actually the reveal of the first room from the abandoned house episode. So I'm kind of psyched to see where this all leads. And again, I really hope that it's leading somewhere, because it's gonna be a big disappointment if this thing leads nowhere, and this is just a bunch of, weird stuff that are pieced together. Once again, I have a live chat open, and when I get a chance to read it, I'll read whatever you have to say out loud. Just go ahead and make yourselves at hope and such, and let's begin the last session. It's like it has something to do with a tape recorder. Once again, I love this theme. Oh, that's weird. The loading screen just kind of disappeared on me. Okay, whatever. Whoa.
I think that's enough of that for now.
No.
You're quite fond of this show, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, come on. Let's get you down to the observation room.
Okay, I'm on a wheelchair. Once again, the game becomes more meta.
This place must be starting to feel like home to you.
Can't turn my head.
Don't worry. Try and get you out of here eventually. Just in here.
hope this doesn't end with a Saint Elsewhere ending.
Okay.
Actually, that'd be kind of cool.
Are we through in the next room? Just relax, and we'll get started in a moment.
Right, Mr. Asian, now are you ready? Just hit record on the tape deck in front of you when you're ready.
Is that my cue? Okay, let's look at stuff.
This is subject 12-19-86-23, new session entry. We have myself, Dr. Alexander, leading, and in a room we have our patient, Mr. James Asian. As we know, James has recently recovered from a 2-week coma following his accident. In our last 3 sessions, James's attempts to recollect events of the accident seen him merging his memory with his imagination. These episodes have always ended in panic, and we've had to terminate the session abruptly. Let's try and do this one better, James. So when you're ready, let's bring this back. I know how difficult this must be, but you can do this. James, it's time to remember. Your mind, it's like a conscious black box. It can show you your memories. Look into it.
The wall's bleeding. So I wonder... Okay, so it's kind of treating it as if everything is sort of a psychosis in my head. Let's go ahead and look into this. As you remember in the second episode, if you looked into one of these alien spheres, you would actually experience some kind of like memory that belonged to someone else. But maybe this is all different. Okay, I'm at the Arctic base from last time.
In your most recent episode, you recalled a false memory of a remote weather station. You were isolated from the rest of the world, locked inside your coma. We interacted with you daily, encouraging you to wake. Your family would do number puzzles with you. Anything really to bring you back. People needed answers, James. Do you remember?
I have another signal here for you, James. It's at 5610 FM. You can't miss it.
Five 610 FM. Alright, so as I recall, let's turn this on. It's on FM already. Oops.
2304. Type in the numbers, James. You gotta see this. This is 20F 12 19 86 2304. Type in the numbers, James. You gotta see this. This is 20F 12 19 86 2304.
Okay. Oh, I gotta go back to the microfilm. Why can't my own psychosis be, you know, a little bit more dependable? Huh. Huh. Let's take a look at this real quick before we get into anything. Arrived at the scene to discover 2 cars that had been involved in a near head-on collision. Mr. Oh God, I can't read any of these. Ation found. Oh, is that my name? Lying down outside his vehicle with head injuries. An ambulance was immediately called. His passenger was trapped in the vehicle in critical condition from wounds sustained in the collision. The driver of the blue sedan, Mr. Hennings, was found dead on arrival. It was noticed that there was a strong smell of whiskey from the driver and an empty whiskey bottle on the passenger seat. Mr. Adion was questioned on scene. He described an oncoming blue sedan being clear out of control, which he swerved to avoid. Mr. Adion's passenger was his sister. The driver of the blue sedan is an ex-police officer of 20 years. Okay, so that's him. Alright, so I just forgot what the hell the word was. Let's see. The secret word is report. Alright. That's the end of the film. Huh. This is the end of the beginning of the film. So what do I type in? So as you remember, the code book was supposed to give me weird command lines so I can input into this system here, but I'm not seeing anywhere where there's any more command lines. So let me just look over here just to see if it's talent. Okay, so 1986. Oh, wait, are there 3 circles? Yes, there are. Okay, cool. So I think what I'm supposed to do is type in "20F fatal accident." 20F dash empty whiskey. Out of control. Okay, let's see if this works.
Find the signal, James. Listen to the voices. You have to face it, James. Finally.
So 7,000 FM.
It's not like him. At all. I've worked with Officer Hennings for 6 years, and not once have we even talked about alcohol. Drunk driving. He was a father, a husband. He was fine. No way he caused this. It's him. This Haitian guy. He's got something to hide.
The light flickers on. Okay, I'm in some kind of room. I guess I gotta use the WADS keys. This doesn't seem to make sense to you. This is so cool. It's like I'm cognitively kind of like sensing my surroundings like a text game. Is there a door on that side? There's probably... Okay, can't do anything there. Some gas. Doors open. Step into the hospital ward. Only it seems abandoned. Your vision is blurry. Okay, I think I'm in the... Okay, okay, there's the interview room. I'm gonna go down here a bit, because I want to see what's down here. Tense up, someone else is here. Alright, you know what? Let's go to the interview room real quick. And I'm not saying that just because I'm scared. Time to quit. Help is here. Under stress, keep a healthy mind. This certainly feels like an emergency. They are all locked. Sometimes they make you watch your past sessions to see what... Oh, sorry, I didn't get that end of that. Really, what happened? All of your episodes were recorded to tape. This is the 4th. Okay, so... Driving home. Don't have that 5th pint. Well, technically, you shouldn't have that first pint. First steps to recovery. Let's read this. I can't. Where? Can I go in here? Seems to be files. Ah, there's a computer here. Wait, keys. Maybe I can pick these up. You grab keys from the table. They weigh heavy in your hand. Can I turn this on? Okay. What's on this side? Nothing. This is weird. This kind of reminds me of a story that one of my friends who work in the industry as a grip. There's this hospital in California that I forgot what it was called. Oh, look, a tape.
We found him lying there sobbing while his sister died in the car next to him, while Hennings next to him. What the fuck was he thinking? She was still alive when we got to her. If he'd have done something, they could all still be here.
Okay, so how did I play that tape? Am I a Teddy Ruxpin? I know, it's just for storytelling purposes. Anyways, what I was saying before is that this kind of reminds me of a... there seems to be a low output and buffering right now on the stream. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully it'll subside. In fact, I know for a fact it will because 30 seconds from now, it'll be green. So yeah, it's a story of this hospital where they shoot like different, different movies and television shows. Now, apparently, this hospital was during, I guess, during the gold rush or whatever, or something or other. The California gold rush. Everyone came down here to mine for gold and such. And what happened was that a lot of cave-ins happened and such. People died, or they were taken to this hospital for medical attention, but they couldn't do much, so they all died in the hospital. So a lot of people say that in this hospital that they experienced different kind of supernatural events. Stories I've heard was like a guy who's working on a movie goes into where they're stashing all their grip gear, all the lighting equipment and stuff, and then all of a sudden they hear all these people like running around the house, around the second floor, when they're told they weren't allowed. So people say like, okay guys, you got to come down from here, and they're like, whatever. And he figured it was like the location manager or whatever, the other person who was there. And of course they ask him and it's like, why were you running around up there? I thought we were supposed to go up there. He's like, well, I wasn't doing it. There's other things where like strange things like enveloping shadows, like a shadow would just kind of eclipse over your face. You spent most of your waking moments in here. The only video they have, some horror compilation trash. It's the stories Untold. Futero. Oh, look at that. That's the abandoned house right here. And then there's Greenland and a puzzle book of some sort. Well, I don't have enough room to... I was trying to turn on the television, but I cannot because it won't let me go out there. So this place is kind of infamous of being, incredibly haunted and having a lot of supernatural encounters. You only caught a glimpse of the room. You guess that's... Wow, it's really dark in here. Yeah, that reminds me of a movie called Strange Encounters. The first movie was about a group of documentary filmmakers, or kind of like a sci-fi channel, I forgot what that show was called, but they go into haunted locations and stuff. And they go to a hospital that's haunted, and a lot of stuff happens. It's not bad. It's another door you never open. You don't know what's in here. Okay, I guess not. We'll never know now. I wonder if well, there's no keyhole, so I guess I can't use the key. They came out with a sequel, and I kind of dig the sequel a lot more. It has a very House of Leaves kind of vibe. If you guys ever read the House of Leaves, it's a really weird book. I don't know if they have it digitally, but if you get it in print, it's a strange book that uses its actual medium to be kind of in many ways somewhat like this game, meta in some ways. There's a first person author character, and he's reading stories about another character about about a person who finds this mysterious door that just appears in his house. He goes in and he opens up this huge almost this dark labyrinth. Character's breathing hard. Waiting area is dark, but you feel a presence right behind you. Should I turn around? I don't think so. I'm gonna go open this door. I'll turn around. Presence? Are you there? Guess not. It's weird. Like every time I try to... Okay. Okay, that won't open. Yeah, so in addition to that, whoever's, whoever found the story in the House of Leaves is also having his own kind of encounter, trying to figure out, if this story is real or if it's false. And then you have another one who's like dissecting everything. This other character, basically it's all footnotes. There's like footnotes to footnotes to footnotes, and they become a separate story. Augmented Biscuits recently played PT as his Halloween stream. This kind of has the same vibe to it, actually. Someone breathes on your neck, standing over you. Okay. Looking at the frame rate of that location, I don't think it's going to be that inviting. So I'm going to go back for a second, and I really dig the look of this game. I don't know what engine this uses or how this is all filmed, but I dig the fact that this has a very sort of video look.
You honestly believe that Hennings was drunk at the wheel and not this little shit? If he wakes up, when he wakes up, I want answers. Until then, you handle it. You write it up. I'm out.
Okay, well, it's a good thing I went back because I found that cassette tape. I wonder if I can find any more. Let's be on the lookout here. Guess when you click something, it doesn't let you click that on again. Seat for visitors. Not that you've ever had any. All right. Odd place to put a fire extinguisher. Right across another fire extinguisher. Not a good sign when your hospital needs multiple fire extinguishers in the hallway. I think I did check here, but I just want to make sure that I get everything. I'm leaving. No. I had a weird thing that happened to me that was sort of in some ways. Did this fall? I don't remember. Oh, I guess that was illuminating that way. So, looks like someone maybe struggled out of their way here. I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird story. One time I went out of town. To go see my... Basically, I think I went to go home for Thanksgiving. I'm not really sure. I came back and there was this really weird note that someone left on my door. Something about playing a game or something like that. I'm assuming that it was for the person who used to live at my apartment. Because it was asking for what I would assume that are initials of the people who lived there. It was like sort of a weird. It was an index card decorated weirdly, and it's something about wanting to play a game or continue game or something like that. So I kind of wrote, "Sorry, I'm not." I was like, "What was the name? Michael James, I think it was Michael James." Or I found out it could be Michael James because I was getting like mail to my apartment with that name. So it was, I think, to MJ or something like that, and I figured that okay, that's probably the same person, whatever. So I kind of just wrote in the note, sorry he doesn't live here anymore. And then basically I got like some follow-up notes. I just find these on my door, like, hey, do you, basically, and like they said, play the game. They gave me a choice of yes or no, and I said yes. A lot of people thought I was a dumbass for doing that, but sometimes life gets really boring. You feel dread in the pit of your stomach. I kind of do. What is this right there? What the hell just happened?
Okay, we have a 22-year-old male just brought in from a vehicle collision. He was awake and mobile at the scene, but collapsed on arrival to the emergency ward. The other passengers died in the accident. I'm getting no pulse. Prepare for defib. Amp charge full to 10 and give me 100 joules. Come on, 100 joules. Charging up full to 10.
Oh, I can look around. Oh, this is the experiment room. Press. Okay, I can't hit tab to move anything. I thought I was just kind of. There's the camera. Turn on the television.
Come on, 100 joules. Charging up full to 10.
100 joules for what? I think something that I can do joules. There we go. So with these like notes, I was just kind of getting them, you know, every so often I would kind of answer them, and then I'd get replies, and then it just led to a lot of
Come
weird
on, 100
stuff.
joules. Charging up full to 10.
10. Can you turn this on? Oh. Yeah, I've been kind of meaning to kind of like document all that stuff that happened to me, like in some kind of video form. Who knows? Maybe I'll
Come on,
get to
100
it.
joules. Charging up full to 10. There we go. Come on, 100 joules. Charging up full to 10.
Okay, I did it. This one? Maybe lower it a bit? No? Or did it just flicker?
Come on, 100 joules. Charging up full to 10.
Okay, got it. Oh, do I need to turn this on? No, I don't need to turn it.
Come on, 100 joules. Charging up full to 10.
Well, I can't type anything there.
Come on, 100 joules. Charging up full to 10.
Okay, I did it. Oh, okay, so because I had those things on.
Clear. No reaction from first stage. Let's try higher. 200 joules. Keep the amp charged at 10. $200. Keep the charge at 10. Let's go. Clear. Okay, we have a reaction of some sort here, a weak signal. Let's keep going. Increase again. 360, charge full.
360 charge full.
Come on, 360, hurry.
Yeah, it's a knob. Not my fault this stuff is built shoddily.
Clear. Well, would you look at that? It seems we have a pulse. Rhythm is stable. We need to run an X-ray right away. Where are we with that X-ray? Let's get it going now, please.
Okay, what am I supposed to do here?
Can we get this on the screen, please?
So there's an X-ray awaiting data. Okay, that's... I need to open this. This is not turning on.
I can't see what I'm doing. Get this on the screen now.
I'm trying to, asshole. Just forgot how to do all of this. Maybe lower this and turn it off. Oh, wait.
Where are we with that X-ray? Let's get it going now, please. Where are we with that X-ray? Let's get it going now, please.
Do I need a... So I have it on X-ray, but it's not letting me do anything.
Where are we with that X-ray? Let's get it going now, please.
Is there a button here? No button. Okay, these are plugged in here, so...
Where are we with that X-ray? Let's get it going now, please.
Yeah, it's one of those days, you know? Let's see. Check this
Where are
out.
we with that X-ray? Let's get it going now, please.
Well, I don't know how to work this. Could you call an engineer?
Where are we with that X-ray? Let's get it going now, please. I can't see what I'm doing. Get this on the screen now.
There's the X-ray. There's got to be a button around here somewhere. Oh, that's not it.
Where are we with that X-ray? Let's get it going now, please.
This is confusing. I need a handbook to run this. Oh, is this it?
Where are we with that X-ray? Let's get it going now, please.
Okay, there it is.
Looks like an intracerebral hemorrhage. We need to drain this now to relieve pressure. Prepare for trepanation. Switch on a drill, please.
Oh,
The drill, please.
oh, sorry. Oh, do I need to... Oh, excuse me. Okay. Should I switch it to X-ray? I guess not.
Mr. Asian, you've made excellent progress. You're doing great. We need you to stay calm and try to relax while we go through these next steps. We're going to attempt to alleviate some of this discomfort.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so have I been just playing this game this entire time? Not only is tonight New Year's Eve, but Tomorrow you leave on a 6-month trip abroad with friends. Mom, Dad, and your sister Jennifer have decided to throw a party to celebrate it all. The house is full. You're in the living room, and as usual, you don't recognize a soul. Trip abroad. Okay. All friends of Mom and Dad. The youngest is probably twice your age. Test. All friends of Mom and Dad. The youngest is probably twice your age. So I'm in a room full of old people. So what do I do? Sorry guys, I just want to check something on my stream. Alright, never mind. I thought something was wrong with the audio, but I think everything's okay. So... okay, you know what? Exit. You push through the crowd into the hallway. The hallway is as welcoming as ever. Only this time, the folks have put a great big banner up across the main wall. Half-finished drinks are abandoned on almost every horizontal surface. Stairs lead up, although the party is firmly downstairs. It doesn't mention the kitchen, so I'm going to see if I can go to the kitchen. They say all the best parties are in the kitchen. The kitchen is full of people and loud. There are drinks and food on the table, and the party is in full swing. Dad has cooked a hog roast, which sits proudly on the table, although no one is eating it. Maybe later. You pour yourself a drink. Nice to loosen up. Was there a utility closet? Just as you're about to head inside the utility room, Jen places her hand on your shoulder. You hug. You're going to miss each other. You thank her for the party. She asks if you are enjoying the party. You tell her it's great, even though you don't really know anyone. She tells you to enjoy it anyway, and to loosen up. She asks you to get her a drink. You pour Jen a drink, and one for yourself. There's never an awkward silence with Jennifer. She always has a question. She asks if you have everything sorted for the big trip. Jennifer repeats herself, asking if you're ready. Just say yes. You tell her yes, that you have packed everything with plenty of room. Another hug. Your family have really gone out of their way to make this trip happen for you. It might be what you need to get some perspective and maybe not fuck up so much. She's always gonna miss you. You're gonna miss her. She walks away. Jen has disappeared into the crowd. You're left standing, nodding, and smiling at the approving faces. There is so much to do for this move. Can't mess it up. But first, a drink. You pour and down another drink. Anything to move the night along. Okay, I can see where this is heading. You open the door and peer in. You're never allowed in here normally. This is where Dad keeps his fine wines and whiskeys. Ceiling to floor, racks, a collector, although he does actually drink them too. There's a bottle with a ribbon around it, and a card. You pick up the whiskey and the card. It's your dad's handwriting. Son, we're so proud of you and everything you've achieved. You've earned this. It's a bottle of 25-year-old double malt. You shouldn't really, but you have to try it. With your whiskey in hand, you take in the room around you. There must be hundreds, no thousands of pounds worth of drink in here. You really must thank your dad for the whiskey. You head back into the kitchen, clutching your new best friend. You stumble out of the utility room and back into the kitchen. This is one strong whiskey. You take another swig and give the thumbs up to Dad across the room. He nods and winks. I don't think my dad would ever get me whiskey at all. Let's go back to the hallway. Few bumps and laughs on the way through, and you make it to the hall. You stop dead in your tracks. It's Jen, covered in blood. She's staring straight at you. No one else notices. Blood is dripping down her face. It's mixing with tears.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
We tried our best, Mrs. Asian, but her injuries were too severe.
No, I don't understand. I was just talking to her.
I'm afraid Jennifer passed away before we could get to her in surgery. We did the best we could. I am so sorry.
Where is she? Let me see her.
Please, Mrs. Asian, take a seat.
I don't want to take a seat. Let me talk to her. Now.
I'll arrange for you to see her. In the meantime, James is in recovery. He's stable for now.
I don't want to see him.
You're standing in the hallway. Something had stopped you in your tracks. While searching your mind, your sister interrupts. She waves her hand in front of you and asks if you can drive her home. You still feel out of sorts. Those words echo. You're standing in the hallway. Something had stopped you in your tracks while searching your mind. Your sister interrupts you. You'd love to call it a night, but Jen is waiting patiently. You're sure your keys are in the living room? God darn it. The living room has a much more relaxed atmosphere compared to the kitchen. Various guests are sat on chairs having civilized conversations. There's a coffee table in the middle of the room. Your mom pouring a drink at the drinks cabinet. Oh. Empty-handed, you head back out into the hall. Jen points to the living room and sighs. I'm trying to prevent me driving, but darn it. Drinks on coasters like proper civilized people. You can't see your keys. Your mom's collection of wines and spirits. Definitely no keys here. Jackets and coats everywhere. Ah. Bottle of whiskey in hand, but no car keys. He points to the living room. Go to kitchen, maybe? Maybe. Huh. No way, son. I think you've had enough of my hard-earned collection. Okay. Okay. So this is all Jen's fault, basically. much more relaxed atmosphere compared to the kitchen. Various guests are sat on the chairs having civilized conversation. There's coffee. There's a coffee table in the middle of the room. Your mom's smoking. Ah. Spell, look at chairs. Ah, coat. Cat. How about just pick up keys? I don't know, look under mom. I look under her mom. Ask mom about keys. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Me neither. Licking room. Oh, doesn't know the word check. Until you find yours. Ah, car keys in the pocket. You grab both. Keys in hand, you head back into the hall. Jen thanks you for helping her out. She has work in the morning and no one else is in any fit state to drive. You can handle it, though you know the road like the back of your hand, don't you? No. Jen thanks you for helping her out. I can't drive. Oh crap, exit I guess. You open the front door and walk out into the freezing night. The cold air hits you. You're glad you have your jacket with you. There's a dusting of snow around you as you step down from the porch. The yard extends around the back of the house, and the car sits in front of the house. Go to the backyard. She sighs and calmly taps your feet. Apart from the little light escaping from the party indoors, the yard is pitch black, and you used to love stargazing here. You stumble around the darkness looking for the perfect spot to take in the majesty of the night sky. Turn off generator. Well, that would be a hilarious prank. You think you better plunging the house into darkness. I guess I'm gonna have to get in the car. You fumble with the car handle, confused, until Jen tells you to maybe use the keys in your hand. So she clearly knows that I'm inebriated. Fumbling with the car keys, you eventually get the door open and climb inside. The car is freezing. As you fumble around with your seatbelt, your sister opens up the car glove box and hands you the note and a key that was inside. She tells you that it's from when you return. Take note. The glove box is empty. You have the note and the key. The note is from your dad and reads, "Hi son, hope you enjoyed your break. You'll need to fire up the generator around back to get the power lights on. Also found something in the attic for you. It's in your room." The cars. You try to turn the ignition with sheer willpower, despite holding your keys in your hand. Well, obviously I'm going to use the keys to start the car. Do I have to be that specific? Do I have to say use keys on car? It takes a number of attempts, but you eventually slot the key into the ignition. Get out. Exit. Okay, so Jennifer is getting impatient. If you value your life, you better get her home first. Okay, so if I value my life, I value my sister, and I value my sister enough to not get into a car drunk and drive home. This game is sometimes bullshit. You turn the keys in the ignition and the car roars to life. Get out. Exit. The car squeals but stays stationary. Jen suggests releasing the brake and giving you a wide-eyed stare. Very hesitantly release the handbrake. You put the car in gear and pull out the driveway like a drunk on the road towards the town where your sister stays. Jen started dozing off as soon as the journey got going. It shouldn't take long. You come to a junction. Is it left or right? You can't remember. Ask Jen if it is left or right. She grunts and throws her arms to the left. It's the left, of course it's the left. Check. Right of way. Oh, no. If I say right, then he'll check traffic. God damn it, go left. You turn left at the junction and accelerate off. Confident that you are on the right road now, you loosen up and put your foot down on the accelerator. You feel powerful as the engine roars at your command. Jen sits in her chair and clutches your arm. She asks you to slow down. Slow down. That's not really happened, though, is it?
You're all over the place, James. Pull over.
Jen is hitting your arm and yelling at you. Crazy sister. Strange. There's a set of headlights coming directly at you, but really slow, like slow motion. Pull over. You try to react, but your body isn't responding. There's nothing you can do to stop this. There's no way to control it. The lights
James, for fuck's
merge
sake, pull
with your
over.
car. The outside joins inside the hole.
James!
It was at this very moment, wasn't it, James? The moment you lost it all. Your sister, your parents, yourself. And then you made it worse. Go on. Show us what you did.
You wake up in the car. Your world is upside down. Your seatbelt struggles against gravity, trying to hold in your seat. An impact in another car has torn a hole in the chassis. Poisonous fumes spill into your car from the engine. You are in grave danger. You have to get out of here. Oh, I'm thinking that this is not going to be good. Still. She's alive. She has to be heard. Bad. She's trapped in the wreckage. I'm sorry. Jen can't move the wreckage from around her. It would be too dangerous. Save yourself. Stay. Wake up, Jen. You can't move. Your seatbelt is still in place. Release your seat. Gravity takes over as you slump into the roof of the car. You squeeze through the wreckage and fall to your knees on the ground next to your vehicle. Every breath brings pain to your chest. Your head is throbbing. The blue car has smashed into the passenger side of your car. Your life cannot be ruined by this. You are standing holding your whiskey and your dad's note, and flashing lights are approaching at a distance. Well, that's not James, is it? They will eventually find it there and will link it to you. Okay, I see what he did. With the lights approaching closer, you begin to hear the shrill of sirens. You simply cannot go to jail for this. You clean the bottle to remove your connection with the whiskey. You then very deliberately spill the remainder of the bottle's contents into the driver, and you toss the incriminating evidence into his passenger seat. A circle of flashing lights surround you, illuminating the crash site in the darkness. Behind them, an army of people, all staring. One figure steps out, a silhouette, and walks toward you. So this is from the... So that's what the silhouette is. You try to talk, but you are... you're not making any sense. Sorry, you're not making any sense. Try to talk. What's going on? Figure. The silhouette is a police officer and in uniform. He beckons you to approach. As you approach the man, the pulsating lights around you get dimmer and dimmer while
I know you. I know you're tearing yourself apart over it, but no matter what you keep telling yourself, you have to listen to me. That accident, that poor man, me. You have to remember. It was all your fault. I know what you did. How you left me there to protect yourself. Planting evidence on some poor man. You went headfirst into that officer and you wrecked all of our lives. And then you couldn't even take responsibility. You did the right thing for you and no one else. Save yourself. Only it was wrong, wasn't it? Look at you now. Utterly consumed by it. Say it, James. Say it. Tell them.
Nope.
Listen to yourself.
It has to end, James.
Sometimes they
Do you not understand? Well, I think we've made progress today, Mr. Asian. I guess we should tell the police what you've told us. Although I don't suspect it'll take you anywhere. I think you'll be with us for quite some time. Come on, let's get you back to your shows. I'll see you tomorrow.
I guess I was wondering why they still had names. Because I'm actually watching a show. Okay, wow, guys, that was incredibly heavy. Yeah, that was really actually very impressive. I gotta say that was probably one of the better games I've played. Is this still going? Yeah. yeah, that's not a bad game at all. That's sorry guys, it seems like I have some kind of mic issue. Okay, look at that. Look at that. The Untold Stories tape is changed to a confession tape. So I'm assuming that this is me confessing. I wonder. Reset save files. Unlock all levels. Oh, reset save. What does this do? Let's click it. Stories Untold is designed to be played in sequence. This will unlock all levels for immediate play. Do you wish to proceed? Sure. No, they're already all unlocked. I already did them all, so... I guess, help. Okay, so I'm really impressed. I actually really dug the ending, even though it was a bit of a downer ending. I mean, you found out that your character basically was driving home drunk and driving his sister home drunk. Now, I want to say that the sister had every chance to kind of figure out that maybe James was way too drunk to, at least how I was acting. Maybe that's not how it happened, though. But, yeah, he was driving his sister home, got into a car crash, and to save his own butt, he basically made it look like the guy he probably crashed into, or, probably got in, he probably had failure to lead. I guess he was driving in the wrong side of the road, but he made it look like the other guy was the one who was drunk, even though James was the drunk one. I'm wondering if there's any kind of alternate ending to this. Let me double check here. Yeah, I guess not. I mean, it seems a pretty straightforward game. A very fun one too. At that, I really dug. As I said, to me that wasn't sort of the Lynch ending. It was definitely not the Saint Elsewhere ending either. I would say that this was probably the Silent 2 ending. Although I recall getting the happy ending in Silent Hill 2. You find out that you are the guilty party. You're the one who caused all the pain, and I guess you could see that this game is pretty much a interpretation of James's guilt. And it's ironic that his name is James because the character in Silent Hill 2 was also named James. But yeah, this is this character's guilt, and he's like reliving these sort of like, as the person who's examining him says, that he's kind of reliving all these like kind of startling, like tense situations, which makes kind of it makes a lot of sense because he's God, it's not my mic. It's really hot. Because I guess it's the guilt's kind of eating him alive right now. Which is a really interesting way to kind of experience that guilt. I mean, it's weird because it begins with this like it begins with this almost this cut. Oh, jeez, what the hell? It begins with this kind of very sad, not sad, nostalgic kind of feel to it. But ends in the very somber note. Even like cutting out the part with the of the theme that I was thoroughly enjoying. Give me 1 second here. I don't know what's going on with my mic. Test. Okay, but yeah, I'm happy how it turned out. So thanks for joining me. I didn't have any visitors today, but hopefully you'll be watching the stream afterwards. Follow me at Chucking Dice on Twitter, and I will be thinking about this game. Hopefully I'll be streaming pretty soon. I've got a couple of other games that I got during the Steam sale, and we'll find out where that leads us. So for now, keep it rolling.